Okay, guys, in this video, I'm going to talk you through and kind of give you the bird's eye view of the magazine project that we're going to be creating in InDesign over the next 2 weeks. Now, just like in your Illustrator project, you're going to complete a project report. So part 1 is due this Saturday with your draft, and then part 1 and 2 are due the following Saturday with your final. So here in the magazine spread draft, all of this information is included in week 6 of your Canvas course, and you'll be able to go to the magazine spread draft. Here is where you will also submit the assignment up here, this blue button, but all of the details for this project are included here. So make sure you cover it all, download the templates, whatever you need. With that said, let's jump right into it. So the draft design, you're gonna make sure you have all of the project requirements met, and you're gonna use the Adobe program InDesign to complete this project. We've already talked about the project report and filling out about your audience, your message, and your sketches. You guys know how the drill for how to submit things. So with that, we're gonna go straight into the project overview. And this is just all achieved by scrolling down, all right? So in the project overview, you are asked by your employer, okay, I'm your boss basically, and I work for LDS.org or BYUI Scroll, to take an article and then create a 3-page original layout for a magazine. You've been asked to design 3 pages, one of which is a spread, and you'll be determining the headings, taking the photos, and designing the layout overall, okay? Minimum expectations are located below these 3 project examples. My suggestion is to actually click on the project examples and take a real good look at what a good example is based on a bad example, all right? You can just X out of that. But the minimum expectations, you're gonna use InDesign, you're gonna use 3 pages, 1 a spread. Your portrait page size is gonna be 8 by 10. If you just select a standard size in InDesign, that is the wrong size, so you will need to change it on your document setup, and I'll show you where that is. You need to have 2 or more columns in your layout per page, and then 600 plus word article. The article can have a title, but no other headings that break it up. Basically, we're gonna have you add in headings, finding a place to put those headings and then putting them in, okay? And then all 600 words don't have to fit on the 3 pages. If that's the case, if you can't fit all your text in, you'll just put a continue on page and a little number of what page you would go to. And then you're gonna break the article up with 3 or more headings or subheadings, add in a pull quote, a relevant image, 2 or more relevant images that you take with your camera and include in your design, a word wrap, and then consistent headings with the body copy and such, and then contrasting type. So with that said, I'm gonna take you into Illustrator and show you a mock project. Let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger for you guys to be able to see everything. Okay. This essentially is my mock project for a magazine draft. So this is the type of thing that you're aiming for, all right? You can see that I've got body copy. This is that 600 plus words, okay, all this black text. I've got my 2 images. These are not images that I took. You are required to take your images for your project, but for a mock project, I just pulled some stock photos. Right here on the left-hand page where there is this girl and the men behind her taking the test, you can see that I have word wrapped. You can see how the words curve around this image. That is the word wrap you'll need to include, okay? Up here on the top right corner of the page where you can see Christ and one of his disciples, this is my pull quote. This is not the only way to accomplish a pull quote. You can also drop a pull quote straight in between text. You'll see that if you look at the project examples as well. So there's another way. These are 2 different ways to create a pull quote, okay? And then remember we talked about putting in headings. I have not done that yet, but what I would do is basically once you get your text laid out, I would say, oh, okay, knowing that the straight and narrow, and I just add in a place I just, click into the text and write in my heading, and then that's a great place to add contrast, right? So either add color, make it a bigger sized font or a different sized font, but you're gonna make some type of distinction in your headings and then keep your headings the same, right? The last thing I want to point out is we talked about needing the contrast and type. And to do that, there's 2 places to do it, either with the headings and your pull quote, and then also in the title. And I will talk about this more in depth in another video, but this gives you a general overall idea of what you're aiming for and kind of what you need to be looking for as you pull together the pieces to create this project. So with that said, you're off to a great start.